This is Top 30.
Welcome to the show. I'm Richard Bacon.
And I'm Kristen Smith. We have 30 stories in 30 minutes. Coming up, the shocking reason why prices are going up at your favorite stores. We're learning more about the newest member of the royal family, baby Louis. And doctors said he would never walk again. But this teen is defying the odds.
But first, the world's largest airline is planning to raise ticket prices, and others may be forced to follow suit. The CEO for American Airlines says the price of fuel has gone up 60% since last year, and the total cost increase for this year is estimated at $2.3 billion. He went on to say he'd expect to see higher fares for customers over time to help offset the increased fuel cost, but didn't get into specifics about how much prices could go up or when the increase would take effect. Usually, as one airline raises prices, others must follow, or else ticket prices are eventually rolled back. And airlines can also take planes out of service to save money, which means fewer flights to choose from. So until gas prices go down, passengers can expect higher prices and fewer choices.
The CDC reports that autism rates in the United States have soared in the last 20 years, up an incredible 150% since 2000. Autism diagnosis in school-age children jumped 15% between 2012 and 2014 alone. The CDC says autism is extremely complex, and they're unable to explain the increase. And Matt Lauer is speaking out for the first time in months. The Today Show anchor was fired last November following allegations of inappropriate sexual behavior. In a statement to the Washington Post, Lauer said, "I fully acknowledge that I acted inappropriately as a husband, father, and principal at NBC. However, I want to make it perfectly clear that any allegations or reports of coercive, aggressive, or abusive actions on my part at any time are absolutely false." And ABBA is back. They've written and recorded 2 new songs together after a 35-year break.
All right, let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with your friend and mine, Nicole Pedalides. Nicole, Amazon users are going to have to fork out more money.
That's right, Richard. Amazon is hiking the annual price of its Prime subscription to $119 a year. That is 20% increase. Prime, which offers unlimited 2-day shipping, costs just $75 when it launched. That bowl of Lucky Charms might cost you more in the future. Thanks to a shortage of truck drivers, the major trucker shortage is driving up the cost of freight, which results in higher prices at everything from grocery stores to retailers. It could also lead to late deliveries and, worst case scenario, empty shelves. Oscar winner and environmental activist, that's Leonardo DiCaprio, is bringing power to millions of people in rural communities. The Hollywood heartthrob is joining off-the-grid solar company Kingo, which installs solar panels and batteries in rural homes.
And Nicole, how does it work?
Well, Richard, the company installs these solar panels at no cost. But these customers will have to walk to a local store and pay to have their solar electricity activated when they need it. It's similar to how a prepaid cell phone works.
Nicole, on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, thank you.
Danielle Knox from Fox 35 Orlando has what you need to know today. So, Danielle, I hear you're talking about a unique college scholarship.
Hi, Kristen. Well, here's a question for all the parents out there. Are your kids hooked on playing the video game Fortnite? Well, tiny Ashland University in Ohio will offer top Fortnite players $4,000 worth of tuition to join their newly formed esports program and compete on a squad of a team of 4. Other offerings include Overwatch and League of Legends. So, well, might not be such a bad idea to let them play. Researchers are developing an implant that could detect signs of cancer. Now, here's how this one works. Many types of cancers can cause calcium levels in the blood to spike. And so if the implant detects an increase, it would cause a mole-like spot to appear on the skin. So far, researchers have seen some success with their lab tests that could be available within the next decade for wide-scale use. And what's your reason for working out? Well, for some, it's to get stronger and healthier, but for a whole lot of other people, it's just to be able to eat junk food. A new survey found over a third of people work out specifically so they can overindulge and eat more junk food. Number 1, chocolate, followed by cake and pizza, French fries, cookies, and alcohol also made the top 10. Love it. And that's what you need to know. Kristen, let's go back to you now.
Yeah, no surprises there. Thanks, Danielle.
And Top 30 will be right back.
Welcome back. Andrea Robinson from Fox 10 in Phoenix brings you this week's life hacks. So, Andrea, what do you have for us this week?
Hey, Kristen. Well, our first hack is an ice cream hack, and the worst is ice cream that has freezer burns. So before you put the container in the freezer, stick it in an extra large freezer bag, a Ziploc bag, and then the next time you pull it out, no freezer burn and the perfect consistency. Next up, a phone hack for you. Before you head to the grocery store, instead of making a list, take your phone and take pictures of the inside of your refrigerator and your pantry, and then you'll know exactly what you're missing and what you need. Lastly, we'll stick with the phone theme. This is for the ones that have a little trouble waking up to an alarm clock. Take your phone, stick it in a large empty cup. The next morning when your alarm goes off, the sound will be amplified from the cup, and no more dozing off and sleeping past that alarm. Those are your life hacks this week. Kristen, back to you.
I'm thinking I'll use that alarm clock trick. Thanks, Andrea.
Time now for Royal Watch with the Sun. Let's check in with the legendary Arthur Edwards, the Sun's royal photographer for 40 years. He is at his home in London. Arthur, welcome back.
Thank you, Richard. It's great to be back.
You were there at the hospital when the royal baby, Prince Louis Arthur Charles, was shown to the world for the first time. Tell us about your experience.
It was a brilliant day. One bookmaker's company brought Prosecco for all the photographers, so they were all drinking Prosecco. Another pizza company brought pizza. So it was got a bit of a party atmosphere. And of course, when the baby was announced it was a boy, there was a huge cheer from the crowd. When William and Catherine came out with the new baby, he was looking round, and then he said to Catherine, "There's Arthur." So you never
got
know.
a name check from William. Prince William, obviously, is a new dad. He's tired. He fell asleep at a service at Westminster Abbey.
Yeah, there's William falling asleep. There's Meghan looking absolutely radiant. Prince Harry sporting all his medals from Afghanistan. And William falling sound asleep.
Back home, Arthur, have the BBC announced who's going to be the Meghan Markle correspondent for their live coverage of the wedding?
I think it's going to be called Richard Bacon.
How embarrassing, but absolutely true. Arthur Edwards, we will see you next week. Thank you.
Take care.
Welcome back to Top 30. Comedian Bill Cosby has been found guilty of sexual assault. Cosby's accuser, Andrea Constand, tweeted, "Truth prevails." The verdict has been called a victory for the Me Too movement. And in some ways, that is the most interesting element of this. So there's much that's fascinating about it and important. Yeah. But it was a thought for a long time that it would be hard to secure a conviction of a very famous person.
Right.
Because the allegations are from quite a long time ago, and lawyers will always argue they're so famous they can't have a fair trial. Now there is this one verdict. You got to think, okay, what's next? Who's next? Where are prosecutors going?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Bill Cosby convicted on 3 counts, each carrying up to 10 years. You know, we have to wait for sentencing, but Bill Cosby will likely spend the rest of his life.
Yeah, he's 80 already.
In prison. He's 80, in declining health, has a number of other issues. What's nauseating about this, you know, this entire saga for me is that I have fond memories with my family, sitting back, all getting together, watching the Cosby Show, you know? And it was such a big part of my childhood and so many people's childhood that this whole thing has been really just hard, you know, to report as a news person. You know, but here we go, you know, our justice system, and, you know, Andrea Constand's tweet was interesting. Truth prevails.
I can recommend one thing. Watch an episode of the comedy The Carmichael Show, where it deals with that exact point you're making about how to cope with the fact that this formerly iconic person that you grew up with has done this.
Yeah, okay. I'll check that out. All right, more Americans are smoking marijuana, but they may not be who you think. Senior citizens are one of the fastest growing demographics trying cannabis. According to one survey, a large majority of them support its use for medical purposes. About 80% of adults aged 50 to 80 told a team from University of Michigan and AARP that they strongly support doctor-overseen pot use.
It's interesting. So it's believed to be good for older people, good for anxiety, good for joint pain, it's good for sleep.
Yeah, appetite loss.
Appetite loss, that was the other one.
Yeah.
And there aren't enough studies yet which compare the effects of marijuana against prescription drugs for all of those particular problems. But it's almost, if you believe it works in a way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and the vice president for AARP had an interesting note saying, I'd say this is a tipping point for medical marijuana, because when people who when your parents and your grandparents are using it, it becomes more normalized and less taboo.
And we're living in a state, California, where it's very normalized, where it is completely legal. You can just buy it in shops, and there are billboards everywhere advertising it.
Right.
I find that when you live in a state where it's legal and it's that normal, it seems almost ridiculous that it's illegal anywhere.
Yeah, we get used to it.
We're so used to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, fascinating. Fascinating that it is supported by that higher percentage.
Right, it's not like the high school, potheads over there anymore. It's let's go to Granny's house and hope she's feeling better.
12:30, we'll be right back.
In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 35 Orlando, one high school senior doesn't let a disability stop him from playing the sport he loves. Austin Thurman was born without a hand, and now he plays baseball one-handed for the Brevard Heat. Even his opponents are impressed at how quickly Austin can catch a ball, take off his mitt, and throw the ball back again. Austin says you should never let a disability stop you from pursuing your dreams.
Go out, and if you really want to do it, you can accomplish it.
In our second story from Fox 5 New York, Micah and Olivier Krause are 7-year-old twins from New York City. And while they may be young, they're about to embark on a 10-day expedition to the North Pole with their parents. The trip was organized by a group called the Explorers Club, and they'll be testing the Arctic ice for microplastics and pollution. Or as Olivier puts it,
research and exploring and taking pictures for everybody.
In our final story from Fox 9 Minneapolis, Gillette Children's Specialty Healthcare in St. Paul has had a lot of success incorporating virtual reality therapy into their treatments, especially with young patients, like 15-year-old Lauren Voller, who suffers from severe nerve pain. She puts on the VR headset when she's getting IV treatments, instantly transporting her to beautiful landscapes like this one from Iceland. The headset allows users to play games or visit different locations. And the VR therapy has been so effective, the hospital has raised the number of headsets they have from 2 to 7. Welcome back to Top 30. A new study finds it'll soon be cheaper to take an Uber or Lyft everywhere instead of owning your own car, at least in some cities. The study estimated this will be true in 2027, assuming the ride-sharing companies have self-driving fleets by then. So, I know you're a fan of the self-driving cars and all of that, but...
Well, it is the future. I mean, it is what's going to happen.
Right, but foregoing your own vehicle, though, and just relying on...
Yeah, it's wonderful. And now I went to a presentation by some people from Silicon Valley.
Yes.
This is, I mean, we're all underestimating how important this is and how fantastic it is.
Okay.
That we won't need to own our own cars anymore. That's what they said. They projected this 5 years ago.
2027, yeah.
And once you don't need your own car, you don't need garages, you don't need driveways, freeways will have fewer lanes. Every car park in every city will become something else. You won't own a car, you won't need insurance. It'll change city planning so fundamentally.
I really love taking ownership of my own car. I love the car seats and the chaos and the, oh, we need to go here right now. Let's jump in the car. I love the road trips.
But you'll get all that. You'll do road trips. You'll do road trips. There won't be a driver.
This foreign car will pull up. It's not, I'm just saying, I like the nostalgia of owning my own chaos.
It's going to change the world so dramatically, so much for the better.
Something about it is like so robotic.
Wait and see.
Okay.
It's awesome. Now, to a dilemma we've all faced. Who pays for dinner when you go out with family, friends, or even your boss? The website Money-ish says there are rules for each.
Yeah.
When you're with family, the person who organised the dinner typically foots the bill. There's a thing here where it says, it gives us sort of do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
I really think they're wrong here. It says, if you're out with a group of friends, it's easiest to split the bill evenly, but if you owe much less than the others, it's okay to speak up. I really judge someone when they do that.
You do?
Oh, my. When they go, I didn't have a starter, so probably I should pay, like $5. I find it so embarrassing that people do that. Oh, my God.
But what if they're trying to save $1? Be a little budget conscious.
Just, come on, we're together as a group. Oh.
You should make it easy and just offer to pay for the whole bill.
That's what I normally do anyway.
You know what? I'm not surprised. That's very nice. If you can do it, why not? You know, when you're with a boss, though, or someone in management of some sort, I always do the little, like, oh, get my card out, but don't expect to pay, but just kind of like the,
wait and chip
oh,
in.
thank you.
And then when they don't, judge them.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about a new trend now in men's shoes. Adidas is launching a shoe this summer that many are calling a dad shoe. It's ironically called the Young One, and it's based on a design from the 90s. It has this super retro feel, and this is all part of the new trend in fashion. It's kind of like the ugly fashion trend, where, you know, ugly is cool.
This is neither that ugly, it's just meh, right? It's just kind of nothing.
Yeah, and apparently nothingness is cool when it comes to shoes.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be the champion of the dad shoe. Because other lines have kind of gone with this trend. And, you know, Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Kanye West's Yeezy line all have, you know, capitalized on this ugly fashion trend.
Yeah.
So this might work.
It might. What I'm saying is it's not ugly enough to be interesting. You see what I'm saying? It's neither ugly
I hear you.
nor good looking.
So you're saying you wouldn't wear the dad shoe?
I wouldn't wear it at all. No, it's just sort of pointless and a bit embarrassing. Like, if you came to lunch with me and didn't evenly split the bill and were wearing those sneakers, I would never talk to you again.
Noted.
Top 30, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Last year, 14-year-old Alex Kingsbury had a devastating accident after he fell out of a tree in his uncle's yard. Alex broke his neck, and the fall left him severely paralyzed. His doctor only gave him a 10% chance of ever walking again. But after surgery, Alex made a miraculous recovery. After 45 days of incremental improvements in physical therapy, Alex was able to walk again. Doctors were stunned, since it's extremely rare for someone with Alex's particular type of fracture to respond so dramatically to surgery. Alex's family said they relied on their faith to carry them through the difficult time, and they see Alex's recovery as nothing short of a miracle. As for Alex, he told People magazine, quote, "I am so thankful I was able to walk out of the hospital. I was using a cane, but it felt really good." And Alex's strength and tenacity are an inspiration to us all. Okay, when you think of green tea, you think of drinking it, right? Well, it's actually the hottest trend in skincare thanks to its anti-aging benefits, which is why we've got today's top 30 deal, the NuvaGlow 24-karat anti-aging cream. Featuring ingredients like green tea extract to reduce damage caused by free radicals, retinol to revitalize and firm skin while smoothing fine lines and wrinkles, and of course, gold, which is full of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. Forget going to the plastic surgeon. This is like surgery in a bottle, and just one is enough to last for 6 months. The NuvaGlow 24-karat anti-aging cream retails for as much as $208, but today you can buy it for just $29. That's about an 86% discount, and you can get this right now at top30deals.com while they last. Well, the rankings for the most valuable baseball team are out, and it's no surprise to see who's at the top, but it is pretty remarkable to see by how much. Forbes estimates the New York Yankees are worth $4 billion. The Dodgers rank number 2 on the list, a full $1 billion behind the Yankees. The Cubs, Giants, and Red Sox round out the top 5. After that, there's another big drop-off. The defending World Series champs, the Houston Astros, had one of the biggest year-to-year increases at 14% and are worth $1.65 billion. And that figure is about the average for an MLB team right now, up 7% from last year. If you were wondering, Forbes listed the Tampa Bay Rays as the least valuable team in the majors, still worth $900 million.
Walmart is making a big move in its 411 stores across Canada. The retail giant has just announced they will put $19 million toward achieving zero food waste in all of their stores across Canada by 2025. President of the Walmart Foundation said waste in food is a huge environmental concern as well as a cost concern. They're already down 23% in waste since 2015, and they're on track to become the first Canadian grocer to reach zero food waste status. It's estimated that $31 billion of food is wasted every single year in Canada, which isn't the worst when it's noted that Americans lead the world in food waste, coming in at approximately $160 billion.
Wow, that's a big number. Okay, top 30. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Football has a way of bringing fans together, and now some pets will also be included in the fun. The Jacksonville Jaguars announced they will be the first NFL team to have a dog park at their stadium. The team released some pictures of the park on Twitter and said it will be open for the upcoming season. This is just the latest addition to the stadium in hopes of attracting fans. In 2013, the team installed swimming pools and luxury cabanas. Who knows how good the team will be on the field, but many fans think the dog park edition is already a big win.
All right, that's it for today's show. Here's what's coming up on the next Top 30. New research says that many hair products marketed to African-American women could be dangerous. Plus, Top 30 talks to a dietitian about a way to lose weight without eating less or cutting out any food groups. And a couple who survived a mass shooting in Las Vegas are now celebrating a happier occasion. You can also listen to the day's biggest stories by subscribing to the new Top 30 podcast on iTunes. See you next time on Top 30.